He is told by Jesus, and conviction, my friend, is untruth. It doesn't rely on applause. It doesn't care who's what. It's driven by who these persons become.
Got some paint.
And
I
when you
need more.
become that, your environment starts to respond.
Need more.
Doors open. People shed. Resistance breaks.
Okay, so
Not because the
well,
world changed, but because you did. The world mirrors your inner standard.
I got red oxide. I don't even know what color this guy actually is.
And the world will happily
I
ignore
got
it.
raw umber.
That's the law. The law of
For some reason, I think he's green.
the law of personal freedom.
But I'm gonna make him.
Most never believe
We'll make him purple.
is transparent. When you walk in belief, you ignore others. Your posture becomes commitment. Your commitment becomes contagious. Your results become a rage. You become more than just a man on a mission.
What time is it? It's early. Oh my god. 10 o'clock. Do this for 2 hours.
So ask yourself, what am I saying?
2 hours airbrush practice.
Am I fear or
So we got the top seed here.
transferring doubt?
I'm gonna give it a quick clean.
Am I transferring noise or truth? You don't need to yell to be heard. You need to clear.
Give it a quick breakdown and build up.
You want to build an empire? Start with internal power.
So what I'm gonna do,
Know what you stand for.
I got this squeeze bottle. I'm gonna squeeze it. I'm gonna do it out the window though.
Because the man who moves with belief commands the move. He doesn't wait to be chosen. He chooses himself and builds his own table. He doesn't sit in the corner wondering if he's good enough. He owns the floor with pride and attention. This is the man you become. Not stronger. Now, but only if you stop negotiating with the lesser version of yourself. Kill the version of you that seeks comfort over tolerance. Kill the voice that says maybe. Kill the pattern that waits for permission. Because belief doesn't ask, it acts. Belief doesn't hope, it executes. Belief doesn't whisper, it leads. And when belief leads your life, fear loses its grip. Now don't misunderstand this. Fear won't disappear. But it will no longer control the narrative. It becomes a
So I just flushed it out real quick.
94% of people believe companies focus and report to our neighbors. You know, you can let people look up ways to improve culture. They look for best practices. The best practices are good. Even better is good with stuff.
Companies think a pizza party is gonna cut it. That's not gonna cut it.
And keep moving anyway. That is where power lives. Not in fearlessness, but in movement despite fear. That is belief in its purest form. So if you want to become the man who changes his family's future, who builds something eternal, who walks with undeniable confidence, you must see belief every day. Feed it through action, feed it through discipline, feed it through decisions that align with your higher self. And when the day comes that someone says, I always knew you could do it, you smile, not because they finally believe, but because you never knew. You already believe. You already decided. You already became. This is the moment. Belief goes from being something you practice to something you are. They told you belief was just an idea, something you either had or you didn't. They were wrong. Belief is not passive. Belief is not inherited. Belief is a muscle. And most men have never trained it. They've allowed it to wither from neglect, waiting on external praise to revive it. But you now understand the truth. Belief is earned. Daily. Intentionally. Viciously. It's the result of 1,000 small decisions, quiet ones that say, I will not fold. I will not wait. I will become. This belief isn't for sale. It cannot be borrowed. It cannot be outsourced. It must be forged in solitude, in silence, and in suffering. When no one claps, when no one sees, when no one believes but you. And those moments, the ones of most strength, are now the moments where you rise. Because belief is no longer a theory for you. It's not just a strategy. It's who you are. Let me tell you something men never hear enough. You don't need anyone to believe in you. Not your friends, not your parents, not your spouse, not your co-workers, not the marketplace, not the critics, not the audience. Because the world always follows the man who believes first. The applause is delayed. The recognition is withheld. The support is reserved until you win. Then it all shows up. But by the time they see it, you'll be too deep in your mission to notice. Because your validation didn't come from applause, it came from alignment. And that's the moment you've been building toward. Not just success, but internal security. That feeling of knowing I don't need the world to crown.
So I'm having a problem
You have become the man who
when I press down. It's spraying, but this is a dual action. It shouldn't spray right away, so I have to open this gun up and see what's going on.
And it didn't happen because you repeated affirmation.
Gotta see what's going on.
Because you acted through resistance. Every time you moved when it was hard, you carved a little deeper into your identity. You became solid. You became still. You became unshakable. And that kind of man, he becomes a magnet. He doesn't need to seek opportunity at fine things. Why? Because the universe is designed to respond to certainty. When you walk in belief, you attract the right people, the right moments, the right momentum, and even more powerfully, you inspire it in others. You think this journey was just about you? It never was. It was about what your life would model for others. You don't change the world by shouting. You change the world by becoming an example. Your belief becomes their permission. Your conviction becomes their clarity. Your endurance becomes their hope. So now, the responsibility has shifted. It's not just about achieving a dream. It's about embodying belief at such a high level that others begin to believe in themselves just by watching how you move. And make no mistake, they are watching. They may not say it. They may not show it. But they are watching you rise. And in time, they will ask you, how did you do it? Your answer won't be complicated. It will be honest. I believe before anyone else did. I believed when it hurt. I believed when it was lonely. I believed when it was silent. And I never stopped. That will be your legacy, not just what you built, but how you believe. And now that belief has taken root. You have a new assignment. Guard it. Because success will tempt you to forget. Comfort will try to soften your edge. Praise will try to distract you.
Alright, here we go with these crazy commercials.
But you must stay target. Belief got you here.
So
But only discipline will keep you here.
I'm gonna flush through here.
You wake early. You refine your mind. You sharpen your focus. You review your values.
Definitely got to get in here.
You protect your time. You execute
Definitely.
without drama.
This is it right here.
You speak with authority. You create without apology.
So I'm gonna take my squeeze bottle again.
You move with intent. And all of it rooted in belief. This is how you become the man who is no longer moved by emotion, no longer tossed by opinion, no longer triggered by resistance. Because when you operate from belief, you stop reacting and start leading. Your belief becomes a compass, a map, a force. And no storm, no critic, no failure can take that from you. Because you earned it. You became a man who forced belief into his bloodstream before the world offered him a single reason to do so. And now, you're free. Free to pursue without fear. Free to speak without censorship. Free to build without begging. Free to rise without thinking. Free to lead without compromise. But with that freedom comes duty. Because the man who has belief must give it back. You give it back by telling the truth. You give it back by showing up. You give it back by staying relentless. You give it back by living like a man who believes. So let the world stay asleep. Let them doubt. Let them mock. Let them laugh. But you move. You move like a man with vision. You speak like a man with certainty. You build like a man on a mission. And when they ask, who gave you permission to live like that? You look them dead in the eye and say, I did, because belief is not something granted. It's something you grant yourself. So grant it, own it, live it, right now. This is not the beginning of belief. This is the proof that belief, when backed by action, becomes unstoppable. You now carry something no one can take. You are the evidence. You are the example. You are the permission. You are the voice. You are the answer. And the world is watching, not to see if you fail, but to see if someone finally meant what they said. You do. You always did. Because you forced yourself to believe before anyone else did. And now you'll never need them to.
We want to I'm being weird. I'm a fighter, like, the core.
If you feel like life is pressing you, pulling you down, stretching you to your limits, and closing every door you try to open, you're not failing. You're being tested. And that is the best thing that could be happening to you. Because success never shows up before a test. It only comes after. That is the law. You don't walk into greatness without first being refined, taken, pushed, and even broken. Not to destroy you, but to prepare you. To strengthen your mind, awaken your spirit, and demand the very best of what lies dormant within you. You are not being punished. You are being evaluated. Life wants to know, can you handle what you say you want? It is easy to dream big, to write goals on paper, to say the words, I want wealth, or I want greatness, or I want to leave a legacy. But the world doesn't respond to words. It responds to proof. And that proof comes in the form of pressure. Think about it. A diamond only forms under pressure. Steel is forged in fire. Muscles grow through resistance. So why would your character be built any other way? You're not behind. You're not lost. You're in the fire. And that's exactly where you're supposed to be. The task isn't there to delay your success. It is the doorway to your success. It's life's way of saying, if you want this next level, you must become a next level version of yourself. And here's the truth most won't tell you. Everyone is tested. The difference between winners and the rest is that winners understand it. They expect it. They embrace it. They lean into the discomfort because they know what's waiting on the other side. Personal power, mastery, freedom, the kind that no one can take from you because you earned it. You became it. If your plans are being slowed down, it's because the man you need to become to hold that vision has not yet been fully activated. Your current habit, your current mindset, your current level of belief that isn't strong enough yet. Not for what you're building. So life gives you a challenge, not as an enemy, but as a mentor. You say you want success. Life says, show me. And that test, it doesn't come with fanfare. It's subtle. It arrives in the form of silence when you're putting in the work, but nothing's happening. It shows up in the form of betrayal, disappointment, exhaustion. It disguises itself in the ordinary. Bills piling up, people quitting on you, self-doubt creeping in like a thief in the night. That's the test right there. That's the moment most people quit. But not you. Not now. Because now you know what's really happening. The test is asking, will you keep showing up when no one claps? Will you believe when nothing outside supports your belief?
Mm-hmm.
Will you commit when comfort tries to seduce you back to mediocrity? The test is spiritual, mental, emotional, and it's always fair because it gives you the exact challenge you need to expose what you must change. You've been asking for growth. You've been asking for success. You've been asking for the next level. And life heard you. It responded not with gifts, but with a grind. Not with celebration, but with confrontation. Why? Because gifts are easy.
Not everyone's life runs in a straight line. As Sophia, we get that. Honestly.
But greatness requires effort. You can't fake your way to the top. Not in a lasting way. You might sneak through a door, but if you haven't become the man who belongs there, you'll be escorted right back out. Success is not sustained by tactics, it is sustained by transformation. And that transformation only happens through testing. So now I ask you, are you willing to pay the price?
Are you ready?
The price is
Yeah.
when comfort would be easy. When distractions call your name. Integrity when shortcuts appear. Faith when logic says quit. You see, the test doesn't care what you say. It watches what you do. When the money's not coming in, will you still show up like it is? When the results don't match the effort, will you double the effort? When the world doubts you, will you believe so deeply that the world has no choice but to adjust? Because that's what success demands. It demands that you become undeniable. Let me tell you something I've learned from decades of studying the richest men who ever lived. They all went through the test. All of them. They didn't just get lucky. They didn't stumble into fortune. They were broken, battered, doubted, and lacked. But they kept going. Because somewhere along the way, they learned to trust the test. They learned to see pain as a portal, frustration as fuel, delay as divine development. It's about powerful thinking, strategic thinking, disciplined thinking. Because your thoughts, not your conditions, create your future. Right now, the enemy isn't outside of you. It's not the market. It's not your circumstances. It's not your background. It's the fear inside that says, maybe I'm not enough. Maybe I waited too long. Maybe it's too late. That voice is part of the test. And the only way to silence that voice is to act. Act in faith. Act in power. Act with decision. Decision backed by a definiteness of purpose. That cornerstone of success I've taught for years. Without a definite purpose, you drift. And when you drift, you become prey to every distraction, every fear, every test. But when you are rooted in a clear, definite purpose, nothing can move you. The storm may come. Let it. Because you know who you are and where you are going. And that knowledge is the first step in passing the test. The second step is emotional control. Fear is natural. But living in fear is a choice. You must discipline your emotional responses the way a warrior disciplines his sword. Stay sharp. Stay steady. Do not panic in the test. The moment you feel resistance, say to yourself, this is a good sign. This means I'm growing. This means I'm safe. Every time you pass a test, and I mean really pass it, not by luck, but with conscious mastery, your mind expands. Your capacity grows. You become a bigger vessel, able to hold more power, more opportunity, more abundance. You don't get rich by chasing money. You get rich by building yourself into the kind of person who attracts it. And that kind of person is born not in comfort, but in testing. When you endure, when you press through, when you stay standing after others have sat down, you unlock doors others will never find. you start receiving insights that logic can't explain. People begin to say, how did you do it? And you know the truth. You were tested. And you didn't run. Now let me make this clear. The test will not end. It is all. Every new level will bring a new challenge. But that is a gift. Because it means you're moving. The worst thing that can happen is not being tested, it's being ignored. It's being left to rot in comfort. That's where dreams don't die. But the man who is tested often, he is chosen. He is called. He is on the path of
The
transformation.
man who is tested often, he is chosen.
To crush your spirit. It is meant to forge your identity. You are not the same man you were last year. You shouldn't be. If you embrace the struggle, the pressure, the silence, you have evolved. You have become sharper, clearer, stronger. That's the purpose of the test. Not just to achieve more, but to become more. So now, take a breath. Recognize what happened. Stop labeling your trials as punishment. See them for what they are. A sacred refinement. A process of becoming.
Hillstone University's Art and Design program embraces design practices built around emerging technology. With art outside the box. Courses focus on traditional and non-traditional foundations, including experiential design, social animation, motion graphics, and more. Whether it's designed for games, print, or digital media, we put artists with everything you need to live using each performance tool. If you want to start a movement or just meet people, Hillstone can help set your dreams in motion.
Really superpowers and amplifying you, opening up a new world of productivity.
You asked for success. Life responded with a mirror, showing you every weakness, every flaw, every excuse that must be burned away before you can rise. Let it burn. Let the fear surface. Let the doubt speak. And then overrule it. Because that is your power. That is your right. That is your responsibility. You are not a victim of yourself. You are the truth. And if you learn well, you will become the master. Not because you escaped the fire, but because you walked through it and came out gold. To reveal the real you, not the one dressed in comfort and fantasy, but the one forged in fire and conviction. Life will not hand you power without knowing first that you are strong enough to wield it with purpose. Understand it clearly. You are being tested not to fail, but to rise. You must come to realize that secretness never understands, success never arrives without resistance. Because resistance is what builds the capacity to hold success. You cannot become more without opposition. You cannot step into your future while still attached to your past. So the test begins, and these tests are not random, they are tailored. They are designed for the exact area where your character must grow. If your confidence is weak, life will present rejections to strengthen it.
That was bad.
Delays will train
It's not coming out smooth.
If your discipline is lacking, distractions will multiply until you learn to focus. You are not being punished, you are being prepared. And that preparation is sacred. Because it is the furnace in which your destiny is being molded. Now I ask you, how will you respond? The average man complains. He asks, why is it hard? He wishes for ease. He resents the process. But the man who is destined for greatness responds quickly. He doesn't curse the challenge, he uses it. He sees in every setback the seed of strength. In every trial, the opportunity to rise. And in every delay, the deepening of his roots. Do not mistake delay for denial. Just because your dream has not arrived does not mean it is not coming. But it cannot come until you are ready to receive it. The universe operates in perfect law. It does not withhold to torment you, it withholds to mature you. You must be strong enough, clear enough, disciplined enough to handle the blessings you've asked for. If I told you that the delay is your advantage, would you believe me? Because it is. Without resistance, there is no growth. Without the valley, the mountaintop means nothing. Without the breaking, there can be no rebuilding. So embrace the test. Let it shape you. Let it strip away what no longer belongs. Let it burn off every piece, every limitation, every ounce of fear. That's what the test is doing. Not punishing you, but purifying you.
Stuck in there.
Most negative steps.
Looks terrible.
It means you are close. The closer you are to the door of destiny, the more fiercely the wind will blow. That resistance is confirmation, not condemnation. It is life's way of saying, you are on the path. Keep going. Prove it, and prove it you must. Because you don't get what you wish for. You get what you are willing to become. And becoming is not easy. It is not convenient. It is not instant. Becoming is a painful, beautiful, transformative process. One that strips away comfort, ego, and illusion, and replaces them with clarity, discipline, and strength. But most people quit too soon. They interpret the test as a sign to turn back. And they abandon the dream right before the reward. Do not be one of them. Do not retreat when the trial begins. That is the exact moment to go deeper. To become relentless. Because if the test is upon you, so is the turning point. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. You are not cursed. You are being shaped. And shaping takes time. The oak does not grow in day. The diamond is not formed without pressure. And the man of destiny is not born without fire. You, my friend, are being made into more. And every test is asking you one question. Do you still want it? If the answer is yes, then your actions must be. You cannot just win. You must work. You must train your mind to see steps, not a step back, but a step forward. This is how the winners think. They see pain as preparation. They see failure as feedback. They see challenge as an invitation to rise. And that mindset alone makes them unstoppable. Because they do not see the test as threat. And more than that, a weapon. Ask yourself now, what if this test is exactly what I need? What if this delay is making me stronger? What if this failure is waking me up?
Listen so much. Don't let AI do the thing this time.
Yo, how many times they gonna play this same?
What if this struggle is sharpening my clarity? When you see your test as teachers, everything changes. You stop resisting life and you start cooperating. You begin to trust the process. You begin to walk with faith. And faith is the greatest weapon you will ever carry. Because faith does not require the evidence to keep going. Faith moves even in the dark. Faith believes when nothing is visible. And that belief sends a signal to the universe that I am ready. Not because life is perfect, but because you are aligned. And when you are aligned, you attract exactly what belongs to you. But remember, the test comes before the reward. The furnace before the finish line. The silence before the spotlight. And only those who endure the silence, the peace, the resistance, only those who will be strong enough to hold what is coming. You are being tested to prove to yourself that you are no longer the man you once were. That you are no longer available for excuses, no longer available for weakness, no longer available for mediocrity. The test is drawing the line between who you were and who you must become. And in that becoming, something powerful happens. Your energy shifts. You stop chasing and start attracting. You stop begging and start commanding. You stop doubting and start knowing. Because when you walk through the fire and refuse to quit, you earn a kind of power no man can give you and no challenge can take away. That power is your unshakable will. It is the most valuable asset you ever possess. And it is born in the test. That is why I say again, be grateful for the test. Not because it is easy, because it is sacred. It is the bridge between your vision and your reality, and every time you choose to keep going, despite the fear, despite the silence, despite the delay, you are building the bridge strong. Step by step, word by word, day by day, and one day soon, you will cross it. But for now, walk. Even if the path is rough, even if the reward seems false, even if your legs are tired, walk with faith. Walk with purpose. Walk with discipline. Because you are walking into the man you are always meant to be. You are passing the test. And on the other side of that test is a life you cannot yet imagine. Not because it is too far, but because you have not yet fully become the man who can hold it. But you're getting closer. Every step, every thought, every moment of integrity, when no one is watching. Every act of courage when you could have retreated. Every silent victory in the dark. That is how you pass the test. And when the day comes,
See those random spurts?
when the
No
door
good.
finally opens,
And why is it just
when
like
the dream finally arrives, when the
producer?
breakthrough explodes into your life like the rising sun, you will not be surprised. You will not question if you deserve it. You will know that you earned it, that you became it.
Alright, give it a little back flow.
Because you passed the
Let's
test,
see if
not
it's
by
coming
running, not
on.
by wishing, but by walking through it like a man who refused to
Okay,
quit.
so
And that, my friend, is the mark of greatness. You are being tested not because you are weak, but because your future is strong. And to handle that future, to hold it in your hands and not crumble, you must grow into a higher version of yourself. That growth does not happen in comfort. It happens in challenge, in pressure, in fire. Do not curse the fire is your friend. It is melting away the impurity. It is forging your courage. It is creating in you the endurance that wealth, power, and peace will require. The man who collapses under the weight of testing is not ready for the weight of greatness. But the man who rises when others run, who thinks when others panic, who believes when others doubt, that man is the master of his fate. I have said before, and I say it again now. Every adversity, every failure, every heartache carries with it the seed of an equal or greater benefit. That seed, however, is only released through understanding. You must understand the nature of the test. Life is not testing you to break you. It is testing you to build you. And that building process will ask you to keep moving forward even when you can't see the result. You may be behind in money. You may be behind in skill. You may be behind in opportunity. But if you can pass the test, the inner test, none of that will...
Are you anything you listen? I'm going to stop. And this is my conviction. When you are study one book, life is a real just habit.
Because success is not a race against others.
you know what? I
It is a
should.
decision to refuse
No, I'll keep it going. So,
to keep your inner world aligned when the outer world is chaotic. That's the secret. The test is not outside you. It's within. You must conquer your reaction. You must master your emotions. You must destroy the tendency to give up at the first sign of resistance.
alright, this isn't
That's
coming
the
out.
real examination. How do you respond when
Alright, we
the
gotta
results are not in?
refill.
When the applause is absent? When the reward feels far? That's the dividing line between those who try and those who transform. Between those who hope and those who become. Let's talk about becoming. Because that is the true journey. The world sees results. The car, the home, the success, but all of that is merely an echo of a deeper transformation. You don't get results before you get identity. You must become the kind of person who can hold success, sustain success, grow success. And that transformation takes time. It takes trial. It takes tests. But here's the truth. Once you become that person, success will take you. It will find you. It will come in forms you didn't expect. Because success isn't about chasing, it's about attracting. And you're attracted by becoming a vessel strong enough to receive it. The test is part of that process. It's not punishment, it's proof. Proof that you can live. Proof that you can rise. Proof that you can manage blessings without becoming a slave to them. So how do you pass the test? By choosing growth over comfort, discipline over delay, purpose over pride. You pass the test by doing what you know to be right, even when there's no guarantee of reward. By speaking truth when it costs you. By working hard when no one sees. By saying yes to the vision even when your current circumstances scream no. There will be days when you feel forgotten. Days when progress moves like molasses.
Oh, it come out really strong right there. I don't know why. It's all good though.
But you do not listen.
I'm learning.
You do not quit. Because every test passed in silence is a declaration to the universe, I am ready.
Goodness.
And the universe hears that. And it responds. This, my friend, is how
That is rough.
not by rushing,
That is
not by
rough.
cutting corners, but by standing firm in the season of testing. When others fold, you flourish.
I gotta get the flow consistent.
You remain. And the man who remains is the man who reigns. The test prepares you for leadership. Because
It's
leadership
too
is
hard.
not about commanding others, it is about commanding yourself. Your mind, your attention, your emotional state. The man who cannot govern his inner world will be ruled by his outer world. And the test is the proving ground for that self-government. So I say this to you. When the storm comes, stand tall.
I did not mean to do
When the
that,
money flows,
but it's all good.
stay focused. When the opportunity comes, keep building. When the doubts rise,
Let's do the background.
you did not come this far to react. You did not endure this long to turn back. You were chosen to carry something greater.
Deep
And
yellow.
greatness is always preceded by testing. You must earn your transformation. Earn your excellence.
Red oxide. I have a lot of red oxide, so I'm just gonna use the red oxide.
He is unproven.
There's a bunch of
But
it.
the man who climbed through fire, who fell and rose, who lost and learned, that man is unshakable. That man cannot be taken down. Because he already stood through the word. So now, as you walk your path, remember,
Okay, so
the test is temporary.
clean this
But
out.
the man you become by passing it, that is eternal. That is the version of you that writes books, builds empires, raises families with honor, inspires generations. This is not theory. This is law. And those who align with it, rise with it. Do not expect peace. Expect challenge and meet it with power. Do not beg for shortcuts. Ask for strength and use it with faith. Do not ask, why me? Declare, sign. Because the man who is tested is the man being trusted.
You still gonna have a pump in it?
Ranks will not promote you until they can trust you. Wow.
Oh no, it does.
94% of people believe something is culture.
Oh my god, the same commercial over and over again.
And that trust is built in the shadows. In the lonely night.
I have a lot of this color, so I'm just gonna use it.
In the battle, no one else sees. That's where kings are forged. That's where leaders are shaped. That's where you are right now. Do not despise it. Do not fear it. Master it. Because once the test is passed, the reward is
This is
inevitable.
gonna look goofy.
Not because the world hands it to you, but because you have become the man who commands it, and there is no power greater than a man who has earned his confidence through chaos, who has built his spirit into the fire, who has silenced the noise by anchoring to principle. This man does not ask, will success come? He affirms, success must come because I have become success. Let this be your declaration now. Let the test sharpen you, not shake you. Let it prepare you, not paralyze you. Let it build you, because it is building you. closely aligned to your advancement. Every time you act in faith, you are claiming your future. That is the secret the world overlooks. Success is not a destination. It is a reflection of who you've become through the test. And now, you are becoming unstoppable. You are no longer a victim of circumstance. You are the architect of consciousness. Stand tall. Speak truth. Keep walking. The test was never here to stop you. It was here to unleash you. You must understand this. The test is not the enemy. It is the invitation. It is life saying, prove it. Prove that your desire is more than a wish. Prove that your commitment is deeper than your confidence. Prove that you will stand when others sit, speak when others go silent, and move when others freeze in fear. Because once you pass the test, not perfectly but faithfully, the rewards flow in ways you cannot predict. You begin to see that the test was never about breaking you, it was about building you. And what it builds in you cannot be stolen, taken, or stopped. It is strength. It is self-respect. It is spiritual fire. You don't just earn success, you embody. You become the kind of person who can carry the weight of greatness with grace. The kind of person who doesn't fold when the heat rises. Who doesn't retreat when the climb gets
Looks crazy.
become a living example.
Oh my goodness.
And when that happens, life moves differently for you. You no longer chase opportunity, you attract it. You no longer beg for breakthrough, you demand it. You no longer ask, will it happen? You declare, it must happen because I have earned it. So let me leave you with this. Do not curse the test. Bless it. Welcome it. Because if you are being tested, it means life still believes in your capacity to grow. If you are being tested, it means something greater is trying to find you. And your job, your only job, is to remain faithful. Faithful to your vision. Faithful to your effort. Faithful to your character. Because success is not handed to those who wait. It is revealed to those who withstand. And you, my friend, were made to withstand. You were made to rise. You were made to win. So pass the test and take what's already yours.
Bobby is very calm and content is the ultimate triple threat. After returning to next year, totally and industry-leading levels of the
Your life is a reflection of what you consistently think about, speak about, believe in, and expect. The moment you realize that is the moment you take the steering wheel of your destiny. You see, there are no accidents when it comes to the shape of your results. Success is not something that stumbles upon the few nor is failure a curse cast from above. They are both simply manifestations of focus. What you focus on, the universe will provide. That's not just a concept or the dream or the philosophy. It is the unshakable law undergirding all human experience. The dominating thoughts in your mind, not your fleeting wishes or momentary impulses, are what build the structure of your life. It is not enough to want success. You must dwell on it, saturate your consciousness with it, build a temple to it in your daily thoughts. Only then will the world begin to echo it back to you. A man may speak of desiring health, but if his focus is on illness, his mind will produce symptoms of that illness, and his body will obey. Another may dream of wealth, but if his dominant thoughts are on lack and scarcity, his actions will repel prosperity. It is not what you say with your mouth that matters, it is what you broadcast through your persistent attention. Understand this. Your mind is the gateway through which you program the universe. It is not a passive receiver. It is an active transmitter. The frequency you emit through your words, emotions, beliefs, and attention determines what flows into your life. You are not just living in the universe. You are creating with it moment by moment through your focused intent. Now let me tell you something that you may never realize. What you it will show up in your life in public. You may not see the results instantly, but they are coming. That's the law. And the law has no favorites. It does not judge your focus. It simply amplifies.
This looks crazy.
If you think defeat, hope defeat, expect defeat, you will live in defeat.
But it's fun.
But if you think victory, speak as one who has already won, and expect success with unwavering belief, then no circumstance, no delay, no opposition can keep it from you. Most people are casual with their attention. They allow the noise of the world to decide their focus. They let the news, the gossip, the fears of others dictate what lives in their minds. They consume the mental garbage of the masses, and then wonder why they feel empty. But the one who masters his focus becomes the master of his future. When you understand that attention is energy, you begin to treat it with reverence. Just as you wouldn't steer your savings into a hole in the ground, you must not waste your focus on that which does not serve your growth. Every time you give energy to a fear, a doubt, a complaint, or a distraction, you are feeding the exact opposite of what you want. You must become deliberate. You must train your mind to lock onto your vision like an eagle locks onto its prey. Do not let circumstances decide your attitude. Let your attitude dictate your circumstances. This is the posture of a creator, not a victim. Some will say, but how can I focus on success when all I see around me is lack? And I answer this.
Not everyone's right. That is a straight line. But for too long, we get that. I'm flexible and comfortable.
Okay.
Level choices. Everything is either just like you.
You do not focus on what is, you focus on what can be. The builder does not stand on.
Alright, I need to mix colors so I can have the right colors. I need to clean the airbrush so it comes out smooth, it doesn't sputter all over the place. Good practice. Good practice. I know I'm not good right now, but I'm better than I was. I'm not good. I'm still learning it, but I'm better. Like, imagine in 3 months, if I continue to do this shit. Not if, I am going to continue. I'm going to re-up on paint. I'm going to learn how to mix the paints with the right colors that I need. Got this one coming up next. Ewok. I'm going to start drawing my own pictures and prepare them to be airbrush tomorrow and Friday. And then Saturday is going to the beach to do work on the beach, which is pretty cool. Set up my tent. Drive for a couple hours. Hey Siri, what color is an Ewok? What color is an Ewok from Star Wars? Brown, white, gray, gold, and black. Okay. Show me a picture. Hey Siri, show me a picture of an Ewok. Ha 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 ha! That is hilarious. Oh my goodness. Okay, thank you. That is hilarious. It's brown. So I'm making brown look like a bear, you know? How I've been working for about 30 minutes. Might take a little. Okay. We're gonna do this Ewok. The Ewok will make him brown. I'll make him whatever color I want him to be honest. But not a big deal. Showing yourself.
If you're serious about becoming a man,
Yeah, shut up.
it will make it so easy. Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Tammy, and 5 years
What's
ago,
up, Tammy?
I did something that changed the entire trajectory of my life. Knowledge starting my self-defense. I was a college student studying graphic design, dealing with family financial issues, and facing an honestly abysmal job market. Deep down, I wasn't cut out to be a great, magnificent graphic designer. It just wasn't in me. I knew I needed to do something else, and I trusted that intuition, and that led me here. I started a small business selling my handmade art. I made 6 figures before I even graduated college.
That's wild.
Now I'm growing that same business that I started
What the?
Along the way, I learned so many things, but I condensed it down to the main 5 things I learned in 5 years.
Man, you made 6 figures before you graduated college.
In a while, so I apologize if this isn't the most coherent world.
That's crazy, dog. Corral umber. I'm gonna go with the small one. Not delusional, she's delusional. Yeah, that's fact.
And delusional is not necessarily a bad thing. I think people feel that delusion is like lying to yourself or faking yourself. But really, what I mean by being delusional is to just believe in yourself. The way that you can trick your mind into thinking positively is to celebrate every single tiny win, no matter how small, because those tiny wins will keep you going.
Stop believing.
50 followers, 100 followers, and now some people might scoff at that number, but as a person, you really just have to think like, if you're standing in a room and you have 50 people who are admiring your work, that's a lot of people. 50 people, 500 people, it grows exponentially. It only gets easier. The hardest part is starting so your experience with you creative freedom is just start by growing your account. Now, if something's not working, this is another thing I learned in my first year. Failure is your friend. If something's not working, just scrap it and start over because you already built anything anyway. I remember I changed my username like at least 3 times. It was uncomfy.core, uncomfy shop, and then I landed on uncomfy studio, and that was my username for at least 2 or 3 years before I switched to uncomfy play, which I recognize that this might be hard for someone to start from zero. But because no one is watching, you can create like no one is watching.
Honestly, the name is not that important. Like, I'm Jay's portrait. That's so generic, bro. What?
And that's also how I found my style. So let me repeat this. You have to be delusional. You have to believe in yourself. Even if no one is watching, I honestly found that you are someone who is worth watching, that you have value to bring to the world, that you have learned so many things in your life up until this point that you can now share those lessons and share your experience, share your art with the world. And it doesn't want to just art for anyone who's opening a business because you want to share something with the world. Whether it's your cooking, your writing, your videos, you have to believe in your craft. And when I look back on young Tammy, I'm so proud of her because like some of my pictures back then were not that good. They were literally just vlogs of like play because that was all the skills that I had. And I put on this persona that, now just discouraged when you're first starting, and really all about celebrating the small wins and using that childlike wonder and curiosity, which led me to the first year of hosting and starting with the campaign of being delusional and trying things out. This year, I decided to switch from handmade items to manufactured products, and it's been really scary to help with this challenge. I've been using Opera Air. The Opera Air browser, I may have seen this
Oh,
it's simple, serene, and the interface is trouble-free. My favorite function is the boost feature, binaural beats and lo-fi music for increasing focus, relaxation, creativity. And notice whenever I put on my headphones,
oh, designed to keep you safe. Alright, so I gotta turn the air pressure down because this is coming out like water. In my second year of running my business, I realized how important social media was. Up until this point, even now, presently, social media is my only marketing strategy. I started posting on Instagram for expensive shots and then YouTube, but in 2022, I realized what I could post about. And that means people support people. And that's something that stuck with me every single day, ever since I started that phrase, even though I was scared to show my face and shy to speak in front of the camera. Something that helped me with that was actually starting a YouTube channel. YouTube forced me to put myself in front of the camera in the way that Instagram and TikTok never did. And if you look at my very first video, you could tell I was so nervous. I couldn't enunciate. I couldn't speak loudly. It was just a mess, honestly. But you really just have to fight through the discomfort, create through the discomfort, and then slowly over time it gets easier. I will say, I still sweat every single time I film myself. Something just makes it easier, but a lot of things will get easier. The reason why I say to show yourself is because I just can't think of a better way for someone to connect with a business than to put a face to business. It doesn't necessarily mean that you have to show your face. I do highly recommend it because again, people support people. And that's what makes supporting small business so special, because it's not just a product that you're getting. I think everyone is so sick of products and stuff in their faces, but you want to support the person behind it. If you don't want to show your face, at bare minimum, share why you're starting a business, what made you want to start a business, what was your main catalyst, at what point in your life did you realize that you needed to pivot, that you needed to become an entrepreneur. So share your story and share it often. For example, at the beginning of every one of my YouTube videos, I always say, can any artist and small business owner, or I always say this too, hi, my name is Kenny, I go by Uncomfy because I feel a really uncomfortable. That little sentence is so small, but it's so important. What the heck?
Who I am as a person.
What the helly?
This is who I am investing my time in. This is who I'm supporting. And that's something that you can do for everyone in your videos as well. And I'm saying videos because videos is so important to growing a small business. If you're not comfortable sharing your face, that's okay. There are plenty of creators I know who only do voiceovers, and I say second to your face. The voice is actually more important. If you can do a voiceover to share your story, that is just as effective as any voiceover. And if you're not comfortable sharing your voice, be uncomfortable. That is like my whole mantra of I'm comfy. It's just, yes, I'm uncomfortable, and I'm going to continue putting myself
What the heck is going on right here?
and circumstances because I want to grow. And I want you guys to grow as well. So be uncomfy. Just embrace the uncomfy. Step outside of your comfort zone, because if you create believe in yourself and you have to believe in yourself. In the third year of running my business, I really learned lessons of discipline.
What the heck? Is your water already on there? Okay.
How to be disciplined and how to stick with your business even when life itself is so busy. So 2023 was the year that I made the most amount of time in products in my life, and it's also my final year of college. So essentially, this is what it was like for me. Like, this was my schoolwork, and this was my business. In between all my thesis work and my actual my business work, I started posting on YouTube more regularly, and so it was making Instagram reels, TikTok videos, posting my orders, coffee, shipping those.
Honestly, that doesn't look too bad.
Like, I was doing all of that myself. I look back on that, I can't believe it. This point in my life could easily been my breaking point. I was definitely not getting enough sleep. I was definitely not having a healthy social life, but at the same time, I was so happy that my business was growing, that my soul was thriving. During this period of intense work, you have to pick and choose. I feel like the sentiment isn't said enough. You can't have everything. Like, some people can, but honestly, realistically, you can't have straight A's and do all of these extracurriculars while running a business. For me, getting back to design, I didn't really want straight A's. I didn't need straight A's. I knew I wasn't going to grad school, so I decided to focus more of my energy on my small business. I'm not going to drop out of school or anything because I still graduated this. I can pick and choose the best. Do you want straight A's or do you want to grow your small business? I aimed for B's and C's. I was more focused on growing my company because this is what I wanted to do for a living. I didn't want to work for someone else. So why would I put more energy into costing service to work for someone else when I could be delegating more of my energy to creating my own business? You have such a finite amount of time in your day. You only have so much time, so much energy to put into the stuff that you want to grow because the plant that you water is the one that's going to grow. I had to make a lot of sacrifices during this time that I don't regret. I did have to sacrifice a lot of my social life. I didn't really put any energy into making new friends in college. I didn't put energy into extracurriculars or being part of my school community. I spent a lot of time alone at this point just working for myself, and I don't regret it, but it was a sacrifice that I had to make. So that's how I was able to stay disciplined. Another way to stay disciplined is to think
Whoa, that doesn't look bad.
time, self-improvement.
Woohoo!
Like primary gift here, so that it's like